What's up, agency owners? Jason Swenk, and I have another amazing show for you. And guest, we're going to talk about the three levels of communication or language that you can actually check out in order to position your agency to be the choice. So let's go ahead and jump into the show. Hey, Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey Jason, how you doing?
Hey, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Certainly, I run a business called Verbal Identity, and it came about because I have a 30-year background in marketing. And what I noticed was a lot of clients, a lot of business owners were really sweating their visual identity, but they were forgetting about their language. So really what we do is we help businesses use language better.
Awesome. Well, in kind of the pre-show, we were talking about kind of the three different levels that you need to kind of really kind of position your agency. So let's kind of jump into it and talk about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think the thing that really kills and bogs down agency growth is how are you different from every other agency? You're a digital agency, so are 100 other digital agencies. So how on earth can you stand out and be differentiated? And I think that when we look at how the best brands in the world and the best businesses in the world communicate, whether it's a small, super fast growing startup, whether it's a big brand like we've worked with, like Alphabet over in Silicon Valley, their communication really works on three levels. So if you like at 10,000 feet, they're very clear and consistent always in their narrative. This is the world we believe in. So this is what we're going to stand for. And even better, this is what we're going to stand against. So if you're a digital agency owner, you can't just be a digital agency owner. You can't just believe that the world needs kind of better digital, whatever, everyone's saying that, right? You got to say that we do it fast, we do it better, or we understand our clients better, or what is the truth about you, about the world that you were trying to create when you set up this agency? What was it you wanted to do? How precise and personal can you be about that? And when you find that, what is it you stand for? And what is it you're going to stand against? Because, we see people elected, presidents elected, being very clear on what they stand against. And really, you're fighting for election when clients are looking for which agency to take on. So that's like at a 10,000 feet. Now, of course, you've also got to find the personality. My belief, and working with agencies here in the UK, is that what we find is clients buy people, and then they buy the agency that those people represent. So what they buy into is the personality. And what you want to do is make sure that there's at 1,000 feet, there's a personality which is true to you and which kind of expresses this worldview. Are you as an agency quite confrontational? Do you think the world is stupid and everything has changed? Or are you, as a bunch of people, actually much softer, more considered, more insightful, maybe more intellectual? Whatever it is, if you can take your worldview and then represent that in your personality, then you're really strongly differentiated. And of course, the other thing that bogs us all down as agency owners, business owners, is we're trying to do everything and we want to move faster. And I've got 6 people writing content for me, and I want all of them to sound the same, and I want them all to sound like us. So down at the ground level, there are some ground level details, and people often overlook this. But what are the words and phrases we use and the words and phrases we don't use to describe ourselves? From the consumer world, we had a wonderful client, Fred Perry Clothing. The CEO kept on saying, we don't use the word store when we're writing our content because we're British and store is an Americanism. We have to use shop, right? When he put that in the guidelines, he saved his frustration in these weekly content review meetings, just because these are the words and phrases we use and don't use. Also some things around grammar, so a couple of other things. And then once you've got all those aligned, you're differentiated and you've got your team pointing in the right direction.
Love it. What are some other areas where you see people going wrong with positioning, their agency?
I think agency owners are usually hyper intelligent people and hyper passionate and hyper purposeful driven people. And actually, they want to get all of that across in the first communication.
Yeah.
So, but I don't have time for it. Jason, I don't know how much time you've got for it. I mean, I see 20 people writing to me each day saying, hey, Chris, we can do this, we can do that. Right. And my phone is going, WhatsApp is going, 3 more emails have come in just as I've been thinking about what I should do about the other emails. And actually, can you say something simple, just enough to open the door? More to the point, if you dare to do this, can you say something that 99% of the world will reject? Because you don't want the whole world. What you want is the 1% of the clients that really get you. So what is it that you're going to say that 99% will reject? That's one of the biggest tips. Be prepared to lose the people that are just going to waste your time in meetings anyway and never love you. Focus on the one, the thing that will appeal to the 1%, and then keep it simple, keep it short. Unlike me, who tends to talk for too long.
No, I love that you talk about kind of talking about what you stand against or stand with. I think that's very important when you're positioning your agency, because I find too many times agency owners try to appeal to everyone, and they're going to appeal to
Yeah.
a lot less, rather than saying, hey, like what we do with our agency mastermind, we're saying, hey, if you're an asshole, right, or if you're all about yourself, do not apply. Like there's other places that you can go for that. And right. And like, that's our stance. Or if you're
Yeah.
not about sharing or, helping other people out, or being transparent, hey, it's probably not right for you. And that's our stance. And that's enabled us in order to really create an amazing place. And the same thing at the agency. Like, we used to say the same thing about our clients. Like, if you think you know it all, we can't help you.
Yeah, definitely can't help you. And I think, can I add something to this? Because this
Yes.
is exactly what I believe as well. I mean, there are a place for ourselves, right? But here's the thing I see that works really well when people are using language. Humanity wins. So if you look at the number of followers that I think Apple has on LinkedIn, I don't know however many million it is. But Tim, who runs Apple, has twice as many followers. If you look at how many followers Microsoft has, it's however many millions, right? But can you believe Bill Gates? There, I suddenly forgot his name, but Bill Gates has 2.5 times as many followers. Why? Because humanity wins. People want humans to talk like humans to a human. As soon as we slip into the corporate stuff, people switch off.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's why I love, about social media. It gives you an idea of what's an everyday, in the life of Bill Gates, or, Tim Cook, or whoever, rather than, I always hate when people just share out or communicate just business and brand stuff. I'm like,
Oh man, there's nothing. There's nothing. So what? Well done for you for going to work this morning. Sometimes I mean that sincerely. Well done for going to work. But right, we're delighted we've appeared at this. Yeah, good for you. Nothing for me in that, right? But you know, tell me how you had to fix the wheel on your car on the way there, and you turned up and your pants were sodden because of the rain, and you had to borrow some pants. Right, now I've got you. Now, right, rather now you've got me. I'm walking up onto the stage with you, and man, I want you to succeed. The human stuff wins.
yeah. And, a lot of times what, my team fought me for a long time on this, on social. I was like, hey, look, we live in the mountains. I want to share my life in the mountains on social. And it's been
Yeah.
amazing where it's attracted people that have the same interest, as well. And then it's so much more, enjoyable, that we've
And it's
attracted
true, right?
people
It's
that
true to you.
believe in the same
Yeah.
things.
And that's your differentiation. So 99% of the world might look at that and go, why do I want to talk to some guy that's stuck in the mountains? My life is 4-story high, glass fronted lobbies and stretch love, ba, 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 right? 1% are going to go, I found the man, right? He gets what it is. It's not all about that. So immediately, your street's ahead of the competition. And
Yeah.
also, yeah, so you say when you open up personally on social media, you're really being, all right. So do I want to phone this guy? He sounds like a corporate blank face. Or do I want to phone this guy? Because he's honest. Like he had a, excuse me, crap day because he missed all his night's sleep because his kids were up or whatever it was. Okay, that was me yesterday as well. So I can talk to this guy like an honest person.
Yeah, I love it. Well, this has all been amazing, Chris. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you think would benefit the audience?
Oh, writer's tips, maybe. Sometimes people say, Chris, look, you're an award-winning writer. They never say that. I always try and get them to say that, but they never say you're an award-winning writer. They say, Chris, you're a writer and you're in the room. So let me ask you a question. Best writer's tip ever? So I would say write like they're already walking away. It was this piece of advice I heard 3 years ago. And it's like, that's great, right? You don't have time to warm up the reader. You don't have time to explain the context or anything else. They are already walking away. So what is it you want to say? Get it up front and start there. So for me, it's a lovely piece of advice. Write like they're already walking away, because they are.
I really like that, and I'm probably the person always walking away because my attention span is about this big, a lot like everyone else. So, get to the point really pretty quick. Tell us a little bit about the book and where people can check it out.
Do you mean this book? Thank you very much. Yeah, so I've been running this business for 10 years. Love language, love what it can do. I think it's a sneaky, amazing thing, language. And people said, Chris, can you stop talking to me and just write a book so I can read the book and stop listening to you? So the book came out in September. I'm delighted to say it hit #1 in its category on Amazon straight away. And really, it talks about this framework that everyone can use, this simple framework, 10,000 feet worldview, 1,000 feet personality, ground level details, how you make sure they all reinforce each other. And then there's a little bit about how do you build ROI, because we all need to worry about, there's 20 things I could do right now to help my agency. Is there going to be ROI for this? Is this the most important one? And then it talks a little bit about quick wins and a few other writer's tips in there as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for coming on the show. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you would like to know the strategies that are currently working and literally have access to them every month, if that sounds of interest to you, I'd love for you guys to check out the Digital Agency Elite. This is where we have members and guests come in once a month to really go over strategies that they're crushing it on, as well as be surrounded by amazing agency owners. So go to digitalagencyelite.com. And until next time, have a swank day.